Hi! Happy Halloween! Rah! I've got some decorations up, as you can tell, keeping it spooky. I don't normally wear stripes. I find them visually overstimulating, but I thought if there's ever a day to look kind of emo, today's the day. You'll notice my setup looks a little different. I moved the board forward. We're gonna use it today. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. My name is Jane Bird. It's so good to see you again. If you're new here, I make videos mostly about Ace Attorney, but about whatever brings me joy, honestly. I'd love to have you along for the ride. Today we're doing a video that I was pretty excited to make. We are doing my top 11 Ace Attorney hotties. I made this list a while back, talking to a friend of mine. It used to only have guys on it, but I updated the list to include girls. This is somewhat based on a tier list I also made of Ace Attorney characters by whether I would kiss them. That has been instrumental in making these two lists. There has been some shifting around in the list since the last time I made it. The top 5 spots are pretty locked in. I have 4 I keep in somewhat of a rotation, and a 5th wild card that has changed since the last time I made this list. So if you want to see the original 11, I could make a video about that. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that. Maybe I'll put it on my Patreon. You can support me there, it really helps. So let's get into it. First of all, what do I define as a hottie? For me, a hottie is anyone who kind of makes you go, ooh, ooh, oh wow. So it's a combination of like physical traits, aesthetics, vibes, personality, and just how much I go, ooh, ooh, when I see the character. Again, this list is pretty subjective and it changes somewhat frequently, but most of the same people are on here that were on there originally. At the bottom of the list, this character is from Apollo Justice. I honestly think that he's a pretty underrated character. We're gonna do this physically on the board, like Brian David Gilbert style, polygon, you know what I'm talking about. So in slot 11, we have Valiant Gramarye. He is definitely a little bit of a mover and a shaker. So things I like about Valiant, first of all, dude, the outfit. Look at that belt, bro. I really like his vibes. I kind of ship him with Thalassa or Lemire or whatever you call her at the end of Apollo Justice. I feel like there's something there. The ending is kind of open-ended, you know? She killed the first 2 husbands. Who is not to say she couldn't kill a 3rd husband? I really like his vibes with Zach and like his love for Thalassa and whatever. I think that he has a cool design, and I really like his story. I started like a comic about him and Thalassa and like him being creepy and just angsty and stuff. A lot of these characters are really angsty. So yeah, he's in the bottom slot. I also did a cosplay of him. I did cosplays of some of my hotties. Okay. There he is. Okay. Slot number 10. From Rise from the Ashes, Jake Marshall. We are replaying Rise from the Ashes. He used to be a lot higher on the list when I only played with him in AU land, but now we're replaying Rise from the Ashes, and he has moved down the list. He actually used to be the wild card in the top 5 last time I made this list, but we are replaying the trilogy, and he is off his hinges. I think that he would be best friends with the victim in that case, Bruce Goodman. I imagine him as like his wingman almost. I ship him with Angel, and I think I love his cowboy vibes. He's constantly day drinking, you gotta, I mean, he's grieving, what can you say? At work, no less, but I think his whole thing is just so sad, and, like, his shaving and the drinking and the sprites, I mean, the vibes are just like, yes, for me. I wrote, a story, maybe I'll put it up somewhere about, oh my gosh, I meant to mention I have an AO3. I'll put the link in the description. You can read Von Karma there, and maybe I'll put more stuff up, probably. Anyway, I wrote, like a novella, I guess, about Angel Star, and I shipped her with Jake, and yeah, I had a great time. So, Jake Marshall, slot 10. Sorry, he got, call that SL9 core, because he got demoted. I really hope that doesn't fall. Okay, in slot 9, I'm so sorry to do this to you. I am at least have the dignity to be embarrassed that he's on the list. Darian Crescent. I'm sorry. I like him a lot, and I think that he's cool, and it's not about the hair, okay? I know, I'm sorry. I don't want him to be this high, but he is. Like, his vibes with Clavier are just chef's kiss for me. So, like, when he says, like, so much for old friends, I cannot take it. And, like, I ship them so hard. I also wrote, oh my gosh, I'm really, this is embarrassing. I also wrote a novel about teenage Clavier and Darian, so I'm sorry. I think he's cool. I like his vibes. He's got nice legs. I can't complain. Okay, next on my list we have the first woman. From Dual Destinies, we have Mama Birth and Hips, Aura Black Quill. Aside from being gorgeous, this would make a great cosplay, dude. Like, it's so distinctive, but it wouldn't be that hard if you could get some pink tights. I think I'd do, like, the shoulders out of cardboard. So it would have been way better when I had long hair, and I could have tried to do that with my hair. Aura, boy, there's so much angst with her and sad stuff. She's beautiful, she's funny. What is there wrong to say about her? There is nothing. In slot 7, I'm so sorry to put him this high. I don't want to. We have What's Crack-a-lackin', homie? Nayuta Samadhi. As I sit here and put these up, I don't think he should be this high. Like, is he more, like, objectively, is he more hot than Aura? No, he is not. To me, is he more hot than Aura? No, he is not. I'm sorry, I gotta move, we're moving him down the list. Updating the rankings, real time. So I'm gonna put him, where do you think? Lower than Darian? Lower than Jake? Maybe I'll put, wow, are we gonna put him in 10 and push everyone up? I'm sorry to push Darian higher. I'm sorry. I just like him. Anyway, before I put him up on my board, Nayuta is angsty, he's repressed. How can you be mad at him for that? Does he suck a little bit? Yes. A lot of people ship him with Black Quill, but I'm already committed. I'm sorry. I'm committed to an AU where Bobby's, spoilers, where Bobby's not the Phantom and they fall in love. So we have to do something else with Nayuta, although, like, if you interpret what happens when they're so mean to each other as, like, repressed pining, like, I can see it. I understand where you're coming from. I do feel like Nayuta would definitely have a crush on Black Quill, but I feel like, I'm sorry, I'm committed. So, who I actually ship Nayuta, my crack ship with Nayuta, is with Paul Addison, or Paul Letition, however you pronounce his name. Tell me that man is not gay. You can't. You simply cannot. So, I'm going to put Nayuta lower on the list, but he made the list because I think that him pining for Black Quill, I kind of like that. I'm sorry. And his repressedness makes for a really good unraveling, which we'll do through him and Paul. That's way better than him and Black Quill, because Black Quill, you gotta give him healing. Like, Nayuta he's gonna find healing no matter what happens, but Black Quill's, like, probably very depressed, and so we're gonna have to take more drastic steps for him. We're gonna have to take more drastic steps. So let's, should we just put him in the middle there? Just sort of like stick him in there. Hang on. Let me try and find a way to make this work. Give me 1 second. Call that reverse SL9. Jake's getting promoted. That looks bad, but that's okay. Okay, what are we on? 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Ooh, slot 6. We're almost in the top 5. Okay. Next up, we've got an oldie but a goodie. Miles Edgeworth. You simply cannot go wrong with this man. So, I think that everyone and their mother ships Rightworth. We are infamous for having gay lawyers, and he is the main one. He is sad, he is angsty, he gets a full character arc, and then a little bit more than he needed in the trilogy and through investigations. It's so sad and emotionally moving, and I love pining, if you can't tell, and he is the epitome of pining, and he's so angsty, and like, in some of the games they're like, oh, they're not gonna go there, and then they don't go there. Like, I thought Robin Newman from Dual Destinies was gonna be trans, and she wasn't, and I was disappointed, but like, with Edgeworth, with the Miles Edgeworth chooses death stuff, you're like, they're not gonna go there, and then they go there. It's so good. It's so good. So, yeah. I'm so here for that. I ship Rightworth so hard. We all do. It's like the one thing we can agree on. Okay. Okay, we made it to the top 5. This is the wild card that replaced the slot Jake Marshall used to be in. Simon Black Quill. Now, based on everyone I've liked so far, you really cannot blame me for liking Black Quill. Like, first of all, his outfit. Dude, look at those pants, those boots. Oh my gosh, I have a hottie Simon Black Quill cosplay, I gotta admit it to you. He is very angsty, and he is very perfect, and I very ship him with Bobby, not the Phantom. I like him best in Dual Destinies. He's just like, whew, like when he like breaks his chains, his like shackles on the desk. Oh my gosh, his handcuffs is the word for that. When he breaks his handcuffs on the desk, or like when he the feather. Oh my gosh, dude. Yes. So now that we're in the top 5, this is I'm passionate about these baddies. So putting him right there next to Edgeworth. Okay, in the top 4 slot, our second and final woman. She's been a hottie for me since forever. Franziska von Karma. She has the same vibes as, for Halloween, me and my sister Joy are going as Dandy and Beauty from Ghost Trick. She has the same vibes as Beauty from Ghost Trick for me. Beauty's like Franziska, but more. Like, she's very commanding and powerful, but she's also very angsty and sad, and she has such a good storyline. Franziska might have the best storyline of anyone in the Ace Attorney games. Like, they resolve it perfectly. They could not have done better. she is amazing for me. I like her outfit. I like everything about her. I think that she's beautiful, and I think that she's perfect. A fun fact, I used to not like her, but I guess that's the point, is that if you can start out not liking someone and they give them such a good backstory that they end up as number 4 on your list of hotties, you've done something right. So, Francisca, Lottie probably agree with me on this one because she is, whoo, she's smoking. Into the top 3. Again from Apollo Justice. That game is making a pretty good showing on this list. Clavier Gavin. Clavier is one of those characters that you meet him and you're like, okay, here we go again, around the same rodeo. We got another prosecutor. And then they give him a backstory and you're like, oh, I love his breakdown sprites. Again, the novel I wrote about him, it was so angsty and it was so good. Also, he's very beautiful. Like, I love his rings, I love his earrings, I love his chains and his little shirt. He's good looking. He knows how to command the respect of a room. He doesn't take anything too seriously, and he's angsty, and his chillness covers up his angst. So Clavier's in 3rd place. Good job, Clavier. Good job, Capcom. Also, wait, hang on. We don't talk about this enough. That's backwards. We don't talk about this enough. Clavier's shoes, like his boots, I like those. I like his boots. I think they look so good on him. And he's not wearing, like, shiny little lawyer shoes. I love that for him. Also, Edgeworth was the first man on my list to not be wearing boots. Diagnose me. There's Clavi. Okay, next. He used to be in the top spot, but call it SL9 because he got demoted. You know him, you love him. Godot. He is so insane, and he is so perfect. His vest, whew, look at his legs, dude. Tell me you're not in love with that. He's got a pretty good backstory, but, he's got earrings too. It's a little bit alternative, and we love that for him. To quote the original list when he was in 1st place, every word out of his mouth is nonsense, and what beautiful music it makes. Finally, in the top spot, got moved up from the second top spot, making their second showing in both the top 5 and the top 3. Another Gavin brother, Christoph Gavin. He has no business being this good of a character. He is one of the best written villains. I had a lot of, like, moderately villainous / antagonistic characters on this list. Christoph, first of all, look at him. He's perfect. Second of all, he fascinates me. The fact that he has 5 never unlocked black psyche locks. Dude. In, I think Dual Destinies, they sort of add the lore that black psyche locks mean, like, you're repressing it, and, like, it's information that you basically couldn't access. That drives me up the wall, bro. What's his secret? So basically, if it's something that he couldn't get to without damaging himself, whatever he said in court wasn't his real reason for everything that he did, and so that is just like, oh, that's crazy to me. I like, okay, if you ship Clopalo, we've got Clavier up there, if you ship Clopalo, I like the vibe that Christoph was Apollo's boss first, and he looks just like Clavier. I think that adds such an interesting flavor and an angst that is not explored enough. I'm enigmatic about that a little bit. He's just like, he's evil, but I want to know what makes him tick. Like, there's got to be something extreme. 5 black Psyche Locks, dude, and we never unlock them, and no one ever talks about that. So I think he's beautiful, I think he's evil, and he is my little guy. He is a pretty important character in my novel about Clavier, which I think is where he sneaked his way into my art. Him and Clavier have such a fascinating relationship, and I love it, and I explored it a little bit in that novel. He's got something, but like in an I love him way. And also, like, on top of being fascinating, he's kind of like, he's good looking. So, like, what can you say about that? His line, beautiful nails, beautiful life, or whatever it is, I love that line. He says about having the nail polish in his solitary confinement cell with him. Like, he's in jail for murder for a long time in solitary confinement, and he says, perfect nails, perfect life, or beautiful nails, beautiful life, or whatever he says. That's it. He still views his life as beautiful, even when he's in jail, and he views his need to be perfect. Like, going to jail didn't, like, stop his quest for whatever it is. Ooh. Okay, so we're putting him in the #1 spot. Sadly but fittingly, he is entirely covered by a light bulb. Okay, so thanks so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see my original list with no girls on it and everything is all shifted around because I made it a while ago, maybe I'll make that. Let me know. Before I let you out of here, we have something important to address. We're playing a game of Ace Attorney 20 questions. So I am thinking of a character. In the comments, you ask me yes or no questions. I answer them. You try and guess who it is. You can keep guessing until you get it right. We're introducing a little Ace Attorney 20 questions whiteboard so we can keep track of answers that we have. We are using the kiwi fruit emoji to keep track of this game. So I will put the kiwi fruit emoji in the titles of videos that have, mostly it'll be Ace Attorney videos, that have an addendum about this specific game of 20 questions. So let's answer some questions from the previous video, and if you think you know it, you can put your guess in the comments, but I think we'll have to do some more questions before we get there. But if you get it right, the game is over and you win. First person to get it right wins the most, but if someone guesses it and you agree with them, you can both get in on the fun. I am editing and I lost a little bit of footage, so I'm gonna answer your questions now. Coolio Starstash 6992 would like to know, is my character male? No. Peculiar Stitches would like to know, is my character's hair black? Hair is not black. Man 8379 would like to know, has my character fallen down the stairs cartoonishly while comically shouting "Youch! Yowza!" and other humorous groans? Although this has not happened in canon, I would not at all be surprised if this happened to my character. And Mr. Flipwagon would like to know if I would be a friend of this character. I would say, I think that this person has a little too much, like, energy for me. I think we would make good, friendly acquaintances. Like, I would like to listen to them talk, but I don't think that I would want to be, like, fully their friend. So, here's the questions we have answered so far. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. I may have to move that around if my setup moves back around. So, feel free to keep asking questions. Happy Halloween, and I hope you have a spooky day. You can subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video. I make a lot like it. I do video essays and other stuff. I know I am looking for things to fill up my bulletin board. I saw whichever one of you sent me sexy bunny Edgeworth to put on my bulletin board. Stop that. Stop that business. You sent it to me on Reddit? How? I have like socials in the descriptions of my videos, so it must be someone who found me through Reddit, because otherwise, why would you go searching for my Reddit? Right? And like came back to me to send me sexy bunny Edgeworth. So do not send me sexy bunny Edgeworth. I will not put him on my bulletin board. Suggestions welcome for my bulletin board, except sexy bunny Edgeworth.